in the big picture, we do what we call the big picture vision exercise with our members. This is super simple. I can explain it right now, and anyone listening or watching can do this. And I would highly recommend it if you've never taken the time to do it before. And it's simply to ask yourself, what is it you want in your musical life? You know, if you imagine yourself 5 years from now, everything's gone perfectly in your musical training, what does that look like? What are you able to do that you can't do now? What are you doing day to day, week to week? What projects do you have going on in your musical life? How does it feel different? What skills do you have that you don't have now? And, you know, take 5 minutes and really think about that. Try and visualize what life looks like, and then write down in as much detail as you can. For some people, it's a paragraph. For some people, it's 3 pages. Try and write down, what is your big picture vision? What is it you're actually working towards? And what we found is, the vast majority of musicians have never done that. You know, they start on a path, they're enthusiastic about the path, but they've never really thought about where they're trying to get to. And B, this is something that then becomes super valuable to you every day, because if your motivation is waning, you can return to your big picture vision, get yourself excited about it again. If you're feeling like your course is off track, or you don't feel like the work you're doing is really leading you anywhere, you can return to your big picture vision and check, am I actually working towards the things I said I wanted to work towards? And, you know, this day and age with the internet, it's so easy to get diverted and, you know, buy a new course or sign up for a new something and get so excited that 3 weeks later you realize this is completely not what I'm trying to accomplish. Like, what am I doing spending my time on this? So the big picture vision really gives you a concise way to be like, yes, this is aligned with what it is I'm actually trying to accomplish. So in the biggest possible sense, that's my major tip for motivation, is that if you are conscious of that big picture vision, and if you are reminding yourself to check in with it, it's a lot easier to stay motivated with whatever it is you're working on. In the medium scale, one thing that we found really effective is thinking in terms of roughly 6 to 8 weeks. So rather than, you know, having that big picture vision in mind, or even not, and just kind of blindly pushing forwards, hoping to make progress day after day, actually think in terms of, I'm going to put together a plan for the next 8 weeks. And this plan is going to be all about, say, learning chord progressions by ear, or it's going to be all about improving my lyric writing in my songs. And actually put together the step-by-step plan. We find kind of 5 or 6 steps over those 8 weeks. And those might be, you know, taking a course or doing a certain thing every day for that period. 5 or 6 steps over 6 to 8 weeks is the right kind of balance that means it's short enough and specific enough that people can stay motivated and not get distracted and not get disillusioned. But it's big enough that you can actually accomplish something and see real progress towards your big picture vision. So that's our kind of medium timescale recommendation that we find really helps people. And alongside that, in Musical U, we put a big emphasis on community. And so for us, that's the community of members at Musical U. But whatever you're doing in your musical life, it's so valuable to have people alongside you working on some kind of similar journey that you can talk to, check in with one another, you know, encourage each other when you're struggling. We have a module inside the site called the Music Habit, which is all about developing habits that will help you succeed in music. And a couple of things we recommend in there are having an accountability buddy. So as well as that overall community, picking one person and be like, listen, we're going to put together our 8-week plans, and every Thursday we're going to check in with each other. And I'm going to ask you how it's going. You're going to ask me how it's going. And even without that conversation, just the knowledge that someone's going to ask you on Thursday, how's it going? We find that really helps people to just kind of stick with it and continue on the path they've set. So that's one thing that helps. The other thing from that module is sprint goals. And this kind of ties in with that 6 to 8 week plan to say, okay, this isn't sustainable. I can't work 12 hours a day on music. But for the next 3 weeks, because I have this concert coming up, or because there's a songwriting competition I want to submit to, I'm going to work my butt off 8 hours a day if I can. And I'm just going to power through for this one specific goal. And that's a really great thing because, like I said, it's not sustainable, but it gives people that burst of energy and enthusiasm and focus. And at the end of it, you're like, oh, I'm ready to take a short break, but I've accomplished something I'm really proud of. And that gives you momentum to continue on and keep succeeding.
Where do you want to tell people to go to learn more about you and your site and what you're doing?
Sure. So our main website is musical-u.com. That's the letter U. And on that site, you'll find over 1,000 free articles and tutorials on pretty much everything we've talked about today, whether it's goal setting and planning, or playing chords by ear, or improvising, or songwriting even. And yeah, hopefully that will give you a great starting point for exploring some of these ideas.
All right, so I hope you found that information useful. If you'd like to learn more, you can download our chord and melody writing cheat sheet by tapping here on the screen. It's got charts and tips that will make writing your next song a little bit easier for you. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel to stay updated on our latest songwriting videos, you can tap our logo on the screen for that. And I'll also have links for that stuff below this video. So thanks a lot for checking this out. I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.